swoon around all week. We're involved in aligning. You can see the little tent there. We'll be doing start aligning when you learn that duty soon. And away they go already. We're off. It's the Stonor Challenge Trophy. We've got Court and Fullman on the left of our picture and Wibberenz and Gutfleisch from Germany on the right.
Yeah, I really expect the crew from Germany to take the race on in the first bit to the end of the island. They will be race ready, having done the final qualification regatta in Lucerne, so they'll be quite sharp. There's a little bit of steering out towards the middle, so they'll need to make an adjustment.
So we're looking at the Germans here from Ruderclub Havel Brandenburg and also from Heidelberger Ruderclub 1802 and Siebzig in Germany. And wow, that's a blistering pace. We're not even onto the boom part of the course, so we're just in the first 200 metres and they've already got clear water.
Yeah, they're showing their class here in this early start of the race. You can see there's a little bit of bounce, there's a little bit of wind on the course, so they'll just want to get into their rhythm really early, strike a pattern, test that beginning part of their race against the crew from Bath, and then settle down into a nice race rhythm.
So here we're riding with the crew from Bath. You can see the face of Ella Fullman, only 18 years old in the stroke seat. What an experience for her. Behind her, 21-year-old Rebecca Court. These two are doing really well as rising talent in the British scene, aren't they? Competing in their singles and doubles and in the development pathway for the British team, which is great to see.
And what an opportunity to race two members of the German team that just missed out on going to the Olympics. This is a real moment for the crew from Bath to be able to soak up that experience and aspire to where they want to go to.
So we're looking here at the skulls of the German double, and you can just see the sort of precision that you get from that quality of Olympic competitor, can't you?
Yeah, you really can. They're very in unison together. You can see their shoulders look very relaxed as they get to the front of the catch. And the double is often a little bit bouncy as a boat here in itself, so you can see the boat shell moving up and down, but they're really rowing very nice and clean. You saw their blades just entering and exiting the water very nicely.
Yeah, right. I mean, these are smaller boats, aren't they? They're shorter boats from the big 8s and 4s that we see mostly in the Henley track, and that does mean there's a little bit of forward-backwards stability as well. But you really want to make sure you propel the boat forward and you're not stopping the boat on the way backwards. Some of the people might want to stop boats, but these ones we want to keep them moving.
Most certainly, you want to keep that stern moving fluid and always towards the finish. You don't want the stern to go under the water. It's always a great sign to see good crews that just keep their stern moving. You'll often see coaches just look at the stern and coach from there rather than look at the rowers themselves.
Yeah, we sometimes pick this up. Perhaps we'll see these shots as we go down the course. We can see how that the back of the boat, the stern of the boat is moving up and down, which is a sign, as you say, of the efficiency of the row. Often, even with big, the big men athletes in the crews, you're also looking for a flat boat with 90 kilos or more per person pushing in the wrong direction. It's really critical that you ride the boat, isn't it? Here's the women from Bath, Mo. What do you see here?
Yeah, you see they're really kind of, they're a little bit more tense up top in the shoulders, especially the girl in the bow, but they have got a nice fluid rhythm. And there's a little bit more movement in the shell when you compare it to the German crew, so there's some work to do in their aspirations to get to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can just see the difference between two university athletes just starting in the university careers, really, and experienced international competitors in the German. So you learn to take the tension out of the shoulders as you practice more and more. Training 2 or 3 times a day makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. Practice makes permanence rather than practice makes perfect for the sport of rowing. When you're training 3 times a day, movements become second nature rather than having to overly think about them and overly process the movement that you're trying to aspire to. You see there's a little bit more tension in the German crew as they go down the race. There's probably a little bit of fatigue, but I can imagine they're starting to think about dropping their rate, getting into that nice 28 rhythm where they could just sit and not expend too much energy.
So yeah, looking overhead at the German crew here, we can see the beauty of sculling. When each athlete has got 2 oars, there's even more kind of evident synchronicity. They're quite close together and you can see any variation. But here with the Germans, you can see what a beautiful pattern they row.
Yeah, it's really nice. You can see their blades around the catch just looping into the water, and then the finish is coming out really nice and clean. They're over into the center of the course, probably looking to exert their small bit of dominance over the field, but they do look very relaxed, and it's very nice to be able to see such a high pedigree crew in this event.
So we've just come through the 3/4 mile signal, which is about 1,200 metres down the course. So they're into the second half of the 2,112 metre track. You can see a little bit of steering going on there, Mo.
Yeah, I can imagine that they're conscious that they don't want to go too far into the middle. They're paying the respect to the crew from Bath, but they've got a significant distance in front of that. They won't be impacting the crew from Bath too much, but it's about respect. That's one of the unique aspects of this event. It's crew against crew. It's really tough. It's ferocious, but you have this level of respect for your opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're looking there at Sarah Wibberenz at bow, 23 years old, World Cup bronze medal in the women's double in Baresi World Cup. And in front of her, Lisa Gutfleisch, 25 years old, 2 times NCAA champion when she's at the University of Texas. So lots of experience in this boat. And as you say, it really, really shows the amount of extra miles and training. But what a great opportunity for 18 and 21-year-olds Ella and Rebecca from Bath to be on the same track competing against them. And you know, we always say you win and you learn, and what a learning experience to see what's possible to raise their game against these Germans.
The best learning experience is during races like this, so they'll come away from this, they'll evaluate everything, they'll evaluate their whole track, because they won't give up. As you can see here, they're still pushing towards the line as fast as they can. They'll probably evaluate how hard they need to go out the start. That's the thing that you do learn as you grow older in your career, and the higher up you go in the levels of rowing as a senior team, it's extremely ferocious and it's unforgiving. If you get something slightly wrong in the start, it's compounded further down the course.
So well learned, those remarks there, Mo. And I think I definitely remember the feeling of, you know, going from being a junior that was doing quite well at school suddenly to competing internationally, and then you're alongside these people and they just disappear, and you're like, okay, there's a whole nother level I need to find.
And when you're juniors, is capped, so your experience is often capped. So you have 18-year-olds. Yes, they might have done 1, 2, 3 regattas by that point. And then all of a sudden, almost overnight, you become a 19-year-old, and you're racing people that are 15, 16 years older than you that have been at this regatta 10, 15 times, and they're so well drilled and they're so well experienced about how each part of the race can impact their performance. So it is a learning curve. There's a lot to take on when you make that jump from juniors into under 23s and seniors, and it just gets easier every single year that you row.
There's a feeling, isn't there, when you first sit alongside, you know, actual serious senior adults who've been to World Championships and Olympics, and you're there, as you say, as a kind of 10 to 19-year-old at the first time. But somehow, even the first race you do, the intimidation's gone. You know, we can see that these are humans alongside us. We might have a bunch more work to do, but you can see they're just humans like us. And I think that's one of the great reasons that people come to Henley. Whether you're in a race like this, Rebecca and Ella, 21 and 18 against the German near Olympians, or whether you're in the junior event and seeing some of the international crews, like, you know, people who will have watched you racing here, Mo, and maybe that's piqued their interest to come and compete again and try and get into the team.
Yeah, ultimately everybody here is just a human being. They've done certain levels of training, but it is that realization that you're rowing against. I remember racing here and thinking, I could see Andrew Triggs-Hodge, Pete Reed in their pair, and thinking, I want to aspire to be like them. And you watch and you look at them as they train.
For me, it was my co-commentator Martin Cross winning Olympic gold in 1984, coming back to school and telling us the story, and I realised that Olympians are just like us. So thank you, Mo, for that remark, as we watch Wibberenz and Gutfleisch from Germany cross the line, dominant from the start, and just showing you the calibre of international competitors. And now a real applause for these 2 young women from the University of Bath. Rebecca Court at bow, Ella Fullman at stroke. Great experience. I'm really hopeful that we'll see these young women many times in future at Henley. The Germans wait to acknowledge their competitors, and we confirm that result there, a win for the Germans in the Stonor Challenge Trophy.